Welcome back, YouTube. This is Michael, the Last Hair Blender, bringing you guys a brief step-by-step on the process I take when it comes to cutting my little dude's hair. Today we're going to be going with a medium skin fade, a light chop, and a little bit of texture up top. As I set the cape and I adjust the neck strip, I introduce myself to a new client, or I build more commonality with an existing one. In this case, it being my son, it is an existing client, so here you see me doing just that, building commonality with him. And you can tell by the way he's cheesing. Once I get the top of his hair tied up and out of the way, I like to start my process with the clipper of choice, being the JRL 2020C with the fade blade. I create my first bald or primary guideline with my blade fully closed, meaning lever all the way up. And I repeat this process all the way around the head for consistency. Next, using the same clipper, I create my secondary guideline with the blade fully open, or the lever all the way down, just 1 inch above the primary guideline I created just before. To begin my debulking process, I switch over to my Stylecraft Instinct using the 1.5 plastic guard. I repeat the same exact process, just 1 inch above the secondary guideline I created. I continue to debulk, switching over to the plastic guard number 2, lever all the way close to save time, but typically I clipper over comb this crown area or up to the undercut line. Going back to my 1.5 plastic guard lever closed, I turn my clippers downward to go with the grain while removing excess hair from the forehead to facilitate my lineup process. After removing this excess hair, some barbers like to use hairspray or setting spray, which helps with smooth out the process, but I don't need it. Always remember to remove the hair that falls down as you're removing that excess hair from the forehead or the lineup area. Blending in the middle line, I like to use my bootleg version of the JRL 2020C, lever 1 point from fully open, using the turning key motion, which doesn't fully remove it for me, but it lightens it up to the point where I can remove it within my detail work. Switching over to my JRL 2020C with the fade blade, using the same turning key motion, but with the lever 1 point from fully closed, I repeat the process on the faint bald guideline, and I repeat that process again slightly below the primary guideline but with the lever fully closed, and then a third time but slightly above the primary guideline with the lever 2 points from it being fully closed. Going forward, I would also like to point out that as I'm bringing the clipper higher into the fade, I'm also adjusting the blade accordingly, that way I'm not leaving any bald spots. Removing the excess hair below the bald guideline with my Babyliss Low Pro FX1 trimmer, followed by my FX3 foil shaver, but I forgot to hit record on that portion of my process, so here I am hitting the finishing touches with my Low Pro trimmer, flipping the blade upright. Before lining up, brush down as necessary to remove any loose hair. As I mentioned prior, some barbers like to use hairspray or setting spray, but with the precision of my Stylecraft Rebel, I really didn't need it. I like to start at the middle of the forehead, moving towards my left, and then repeating that process starting at the middle of the forehead and then moving towards the opposite direction. Sometimes we tend to get overconfident. Don't. Remember to cross-check using the mirror. There are times where we look at the lineup once we finish and we think it's crispy as hell, but then we look in the mirror and then we notice the imperfection. This time around, I decided to touch up his eyebrows and his mustache as he is getting a little bit older. I just wanted to do a little bit more detailed work on my little man. And of course, when you get your services and stay blended, as always, you get the additional amenities such as the scented therapy hot towel, incredible scent. And then you also get to enjoy our complimentary shoulder massage. It'll temporarily make you forget that you just banged out a full shift, or in his case, a full day of schooling and cooling. And then when you leave, and your girl, or your man's, or your wife, or your mom's is wondering why you smell so good, I bet you come back asking me for the name of my aftershave. But anyway, there you have it, the final result on my little man's medium skin fade, with a trim and texture up top. Let me know what you guys think, or if you want to see more content like this, hit the comment section, like, subscribe, and if you're ever in the Phoenix, Arizona area and want to catch a blend, booking link is in the description.